Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is me, your old pal Orpheus, with another edition of the Madness and Mayhem podcast. Yeah, another chance for you to just sit back, relax, and listen to the smooth sounds of your old pal Orpheus. I was in radio, can you tell? Anyway, hi, how you doing? I hope you're doing well wherever you are today, whether it is day or night. It is another wonderful day here to talk about absolutely nothing, and that's the point of the Madness and Mayhem podcast, to just talk about life and things that are going on, things that are in my head, things that have been in your head, and, we just kind of come together here and enjoy telling some stories and laughing and crying and, just enjoying the talking thing. Anyway, I'm a good communicate person anyway. So today I wanted to talk about something that's going to be an awe moment. I wanted to preface this by saying I was adopted, and so there's a lot of stories on my channel for this. And so what does that mean? Where are we going with this? Well, I think that there was some angst growing up from my parents, my adoptive parents, and it's because I never had a birthday growing up past a certain point in my life, like after about 7 or 8 years old. I had a few birthdays before then that I can remember, but after that, I remember going to kids' birthday parties, but never actually having one of my own. Now, this is an interesting topic because it kind of it pings a lot of it flips a lot of switches for people. There's a lot of triggers in this, and it can go anywhere from well, what the hell? What is wrong with your parents, right? Why would they do that? And the question is, I'm not really sure, right? I think that they I started to become a problem child, quote unquote, at some point along the way there, and maybe they started to get a little upset with, the way that I was behaving, and maybe I was behaving badly around every time, around my birthday, so they would take it away or something. And, so that's the first thing you want to bring up. What the hell's wrong with my parents? I don't know. They had a lot of issues, looking back at it now. When I was growing up and, adolescent, and before my brain had formed all the way at about, 20, 25 years old, somewhere in there, your frontal lobe doesn't develop all the way until you're about that old. And so when people ask, why did you make that stupid decision? Well, that's part of, your brain's not fully developed. And that's why I really suggest people don't mess with your brains with any substances if you can help it until your, frontal lobe has developed all the way. But Orpheus, how do I know if that's happened? I don't know. I'm not a neurosurgeon. Don't ask me. I'm not a developmental psychologist or anything like that. Back off. Anyway. So that's the first question. What the hell's wrong with your parents? I think they had some mental problems going on. My father was definitely a narcissist, my adoptive father. Definitely had some dark triad stuff going on, had a level of abuse that he would put on the family that was unreasonable. And, I was just watching an episode of Unsolved Mysteries with my wife last night. And, there was this guy that was talking about a reunion episode with, they were reuniting a bunch of people from a family that got broken up because of abuse. And they were saying, oh, well, I remember when we were growing up, he'd really lay into us. And it's because he was always drunk. He was always drinking. He was always, he was a mean drunk too. And that's why he beat us all the time. And it's like, well, I wish I had some sort of excuse for that. For my dad, I could at least go, well, I mean, he was an alcoholic. What do you expect? But my dad wasn't an alcoholic. What he was addicted to was being a violent and unreasonably cruel person. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it also has to do with I was intelligent growing up and showed signs of it very early. And so I think my parents decided, maybe birthday parties are not what a mature young man should have with all of his friends and party hats and presents and all that stuff. So instead, once in a while, once every couple of years, if that, they would take me out to a formal dinner where I'd have to put on a suit and tie. Like an 11 or 12-year-old Orpheus in a 3-piece suit sitting at some fancy restaurant, and it's like, oh, and it's our son's birthday. And by the way, I'm the youngest person in the restaurant by 35 years. And they're like, well, what the hell do we do for a birthday for a kid? So they bring out a piece of cheesecake with a candle on it or something like that, right? No one sings happy birthday. My parents kind of mumble it off, happy birthday to you. So that's kind of what birthday parties were. I never had a proper children's birthday party growing up. It just wasn't something that I did. I went to them, so I understood the concept of what a birthday party was supposed to be, obviously. But for me, it was always like, well, it was my parents and myself and maybe my brother if he was around. And that was it. It was just us at a restaurant having like an hour and a half of dinner, where they weren't yelling at me, they weren't abusing me, there was no stress that was applied from outside influences, like if I did something wrong. But the thing is that was so messed up about it is it was one of those examples that my dad came up with of sanctuary. And this is a completely effed up concept where, he could be in the middle of abusing me for some reason, physically, mentally, emotionally, and say it's time for them to go to dinner or something like that. Or, great example is like for something specifically like this, a birthday party thing, right? If I have to go out for my birthday with my parents, my dad will kind of just not literally, but like he just basically flips a switch and it's like, okay, well, everything is going to be cool for the next couple of hours. And it wasn't like, we're going to be civil with each other. It was like, perfect dad, perfect mom and dad. Oh, hugging and say, oh, it's happy birthday, son. It's so great, that we love you so much. And then the minute we get into the car, it's like, F you, you stupid little shit, right? Like it's like, just a flip of that switch back in the other direction, and boom, it was just, absolutely awful to go back to the house and like, if there were leftovers, it was just like they just sat in the fridge because there was no joy left in it. And so now you're going, oh, right? That's kind of messed up. And it's not like I didn't have friends or anything. They just never came over for my birthday. They never really questioned it. I don't think it ever really came up. It wasn't like, well, why doesn't Orpheus, I almost said my name again. Why doesn't Orpheus have birthday parties? They never really, it never really came up in conversation because I don't know, maybe, look, I was a weird kid growing up. Not a lot of people had small talk with me. So, let's go through the years here. And here's the big revelation. I have never had a proper birthday party as an adult or past a certain point as a kid where I had friends and family and everyone gathered around. I'd never gotten a big pile of presents that I opened in front of everybody. I've never had anything like that go on where, it was a whole bunch of people sing happy birthday. No, I've never had a surprise party for me. Nothing like that. No one's ever been like, oh, let's go out for something. Mostly because I'm about as keen as Sherlock when it comes to sussing out stuff like that. So if someone was like, oh, we're going to go suddenly out of nowhere to this place that you said you really like. Why? Because, I figured be nice to, it's a surprise party, isn't it? But that's never even happened, right? That's never been something that has happened in my life. And again, this is where you go, well, what the hell is wrong with blank? Insert something here. Well, let's start with Mrs. Orpheus, because all of you are probably asking, well, you're married. Why hasn't your wife ever thrown you a party? Because I've never wanted her to go out of her way to do something like that. If it's my birthday, we've just chosen something to do. It's my day to have whatever food that I want. We can go to watch a movie or something. We sit and play, PlayStation 2, play the Lord of the Rings game that we used when we were first dating. We'll just do whatever. It's our day. It's my day, or if it's her birthday, it's her day, where she chooses what she wants and all that stuff. It's not like she waits on me hand and foot or anything. And it's not the same way if it's her birthday. It's not like there's a birthday week or a birthday month. God, I've seen so many people out there, not you listening. I know it's not you because you are a sensible human being. But I've seen people that are out there. It's like, it's my birthday month or it's my birthday week. You got to be special to me and everything. Like, okay, whatever, man. But, if anything, we'd go out to dinner. Like the same thing as when I was growing up as a kid. But never, ever had a group of people that, it was my birthday party. Except, I will give one asterisk on this. This happened about 6-7 years ago, something like that. We had a friend of ours who was the maid of honor at our wedding because she was one of the only female friends that my wife had at the time. She, at least close friends that she would have around her age to have as a maid of honor. And so she had heard this same story from me where I've never had a proper birthday party. And so she decided it was time to throw Orpheus. I almost said my name again. Wow. It was time to throw Orpheus a proper birthday party. And so, oh man, she tells me, come on over, you and Mrs. Orpheus come over and, at this date or at this time at my house and, we'll have a little get together. Well, here's the thing. When I got there, there was some just like, how do I explain this? It was like we had gone to the wrong house and there was a birthday party for like a 6-year-old that was going on because there were like silly party hats and stuff. Now, I know you're saying, now hold on. Now, I know you're saying, well, they put the effort forth to, make it a big thing and give you the childhood birthday party that you never had. No, this wasn't like that. This was very uncomfortable. I did not know this girl very well, okay? I did not know her that well at all. My wife did not know her all that well either. They were co-workers, okay? So it was someone that's like, they spent time at lunch and stuff together. And so, God, it was the most awkward like hour and a half that I've ever spent in my life. Sitting there, she insisted that I put a party hat on, like a stupid foil party hat with a little tassel on the top. They sang me happy birthday, but it was all done in a manner like it was specifically she was trying to make it like, oh, it's 6-year-old Orpheus and here's his birthday party. Hey, yay, I got you. She actually got me toys and stuff to play with and little party favors that were like little toys that you'd have for like 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds at a party. And so it's like, and the gift she gave me was the only thing that she knew about me, which was that I liked World of Warcraft. And so she had one gift that was World of Warcraft, but again, it was like for kids. It was like a little picture book or something for kids. I didn't understand what was going on. It was like, this is not a birthday party. This is you trying to create some. This was like social justice warrior stuff where like someone goes, well, I'm going to step in and make that person feel good. Well, if you have good intentions and you try to do something like that for somebody, good on you, man. But if you don't know anything about that person other than that they didn't ever have a birthday party growing up, what is your choice of what you're going to do? Are you going to throw them an adult birthday party? And I don't mean like, with sex toys and stuff. I mean, are you going to throw them a birthday party for an adult? Like, go out to a restaurant, maybe have a little surprise thing where, oh, we're just going to go out to eat and there's like a couple other people there. Oh, surprise, it's your birthday dinner. I would have expected something like that. And maybe you are probably expecting the same thing. I am not the kind of person that would want a child's birthday party in my 40s. I'm not the kind of person that would want to play with little kids' toys and drink, a punch and stuff like that. I wanted to have like, let's drink a glass of wine at a fancy restaurant and have some steak. I don't know. It was a very strange thing. And so still to this day have not had a proper adult birthday party, and you put it on my wife once again, but don't. She's the most wonderful person when it comes to my birthday parties because I feel so loved around her all the time, but especially on my birthdays because she makes it clear that it's like, this is your day, honey. This is the day that is all about you, and I just absolutely love it when she does that. But that's my little blurb today. It might be a big surprise to you that your old pal Orpheus has never actually had a proper birthday party. I'm coming up to a big milestone birthday here coming up, and it's kind of scary, and I don't want to turn the age that I'm going to turn, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe my wife will put something together. Again, if she does or if she doesn't matter to me. As long as I'm there with her and everything, that's all I need. But, once in a while, it would have been nice to have a proper birthday party. Maybe at some point in the future, I'll have somebody somewhere that will go, hey, Orpheus, I'm going to take you out to a weekend to Vegas or I don't know, or something like that. You can dream. But don't feel depressed for me. Don't feel sad. I mean, you can feel a little sad if you want to. That's kind of, these journeys that we take on these podcasts are not, I don't always plan where they go. So, emotions happen. But anyway, that's my little thing about birthdays. And I hope that you're a person that has good birthdays. I hope that they're the ones that you want, whether it's just you sitting there with a cupcake and a little candle sticking out of it and you sing happy birthday to yourself, or whether you're someone that has 100 people at your birthday party all singing and dancing and having a great time. I hope you enjoy every single one of those birthdays, because they are another trip around the sun that you managed to survive through. And you know what? I've done this in another podcast as well. It's because you are a lot tougher than you think, and you make it each and every single time. Anyway, that's my little thing for today. I will see you in the next one here on the Madness and Mayhem podcast, or in just a regular episode of Orpheus Plays, maybe Blade and Sorcery or something else like that. But I'll see you next time. Be good, do good, and treat yourself well, because you absolutely deserve it. See you again. Bye.